Hello, we're here today with Miss Sidnell from Nestlé Nutrition, and we are very happy to have you here and give us some insight on your job.
Hello there, yes, I'm delighted to be able to share. I hope it's useful for the students in Nutrition Society.
I'm sure it will definitely be. So, could you start by describing to us your career path so far?
Yeah, sure. So I have had a sort of nutrition career in two parts. I worked before I had my children, then I took a big break and have come back to something similar really. So I started with a degree in nutrition and food chemistry in Cork in Ireland, and then I went into food technology as a role rather than nutrition straight away. But over time I got more interested in nutrition and then more interested in infant nutrition. So that's where I've ended up today, working as nutritionist for the infant nutrition side of Nestlé in the UK.
Very interesting path indeed. So could you tell us a few things about what your current job involves?
Yeah, sure. So there are four of us in a nutrition team. We provide the technical support for sales and marketing in the UK. So that includes making sure all the packaging materials and so on are scientifically accurate and legal, and advising on the actual composition of the products for the baby at the particular stage in development that they're at. So it's really about that technical backup for the company. And then also we need to interpret new science and then in some ways also generate some science. So for example, if we're looking at dietary surveys for toddlers, then we can do some secondary analysis, interpret that and make it useful for the company for the commercial benefit of the company.
That's very interesting and a well-rounded job. I was wondering, so what do you think are the up points to your job? What would you enjoy most?
Yes, so I think what I describe to people about what I enjoy is the variety of work, because with working directly with marketing, some of the materials and the items are more light and more fun, like TV commercials. So they're not going to contain much science or much product information. But it's nice to get involved in the making of something like that. And then at the other end of the spectrum is maybe the clinical trials that we do that are global, that are very high cost and very important for us as a business. So there's a nice spectrum of high science to more marketing, which I enjoy.
That's really nice. So a lot of the students nowadays from different levels, from their BSc on to whatever their PhD they're finishing, they might be thinking of maybe doing the transition from research to industry.
Yes.
Would you have some pointers or some things you would like to share with us and tell us how would we make this transition easier or more efficient actually?
Well, I mean, I haven't had a whole lot of experience in hiring other nutrition graduates, but what I have seen is that those who've done some industry placement have really found the transition easy to come from academia or from their degree into industry. So that's a really big plus, a placement. And then if that's not part of the degree, then offer to do some work experience for a company that you're interested in. And if you can afford to do that, do it for free, because that might be attractive to the company. And then I guess if you're interested in a particular area of nutrition, find some way to demonstrate that you've studied that, you've written something about it, or you understand the environment. For example, in our area with infant nutrition, there's lots of regulations, there's lots of politics. So someone who comes in, we would expect the academic and scientific credentials. But if you can show some of those other knowledge and experience, all the better.
Okay, so would you have any idea of what an entry-level job for a nutrition graduate would entail? So just to get an idea of our true expectations and, what should we expect when we enter this job?
Yes, so we take on student placements for a year at a time. So for that role, you would be working alongside someone like myself on a project. For example, as I mentioned earlier, we've done some secondary analysis of the government surveys on toddler diets. So some number crunching, some analysis and interpretation of dietary intake. Routine day-to-day jobs that we would have are things like checking labels, nutrition information, ingredients lists, That's the more sort of tedious but necessary day-to-day work. Working alongside marketing, for example, I helped marketing develop a website tool for a diet advice for women while they're breastfeeding. So it's a way to present dietary information in a visual and a nice way. So those are the kind of jobs or projects that a student or a graduate would come in and would be assisting with, but probably with some sort of management support as well.
Okay, thank you very much. That was very helpful, and you're very welcome for being here today.
Great, thank you. It was a pleasure.